This person feels like they have found everything that they have been looking for in a partner, in a mate, in a match, in you. This is somebody that, with this "you inspire me" energy, is learning to love themselves and appreciate themselves more because of the fact that you embrace them fully as they are. This is somebody that is very excited for what the future holds between the two of you, because there's a sense of like an intuition that they followed inside of themselves for quite some time, a compass that they had in their heart that had led them beyond circumstances where they either would have closed off to the idea of love or would have settled for, like a lower vibrational connection or a shallow connection out of loneliness. And something told them to just wait a little bit longer. Just wait and see. Just keep moving forward. Just keep following that voice within their heart on into the unknown. And it feels like it is in this territory that they have encountered you at a time in their life when it's like they were hoping for love, they were looking for love, but they didn't know it would hit them this hard. There's a sense that there are things that you have said and done which are kind of like little clues or indicators, little confirmations for them, things that they were very specific in trying to manifest in that right or ideal partner, maybe even things that came to this person in like downloads, dreams, or visions. And here you are embodying those qualities. Here you are saying these things out loud, or in some sort of way, this kind of like symbolism aligns with you or follows you or is associated with you in some sort of way that is giving this person a lot of internal confirmations that the choices that they've made up to this point in time in life and in love, in terms of keeping that standard very high and, keeping their heart open and just believing that like my turn will come, I will find the right person, I'll find the right one for me, that like the time is now for that. So this is somebody that is inspired to kind of pull out all the stops in terms of advancing this connection to the next level. They want to lead in this situation. They want to hold you close. They want you to feel comfortable and safe in their energy and presence, to either soften if this has been kind of a long journey for you to get to this place. This is somebody that wants you to know like there is safety in my arms. We don't have to rush this process, but if you're wanting to move, at a brisk pace, I'm open for that as well. It feels like this is somebody that wants to hold you very close, wants to keep you very close. They feel very nurtured by your energy and by your presence, and this is somebody that really wants to reciprocate that in kind with you. They're very inspired by the ways in which you show love to them, that you show love to yourself, that you show love to other people, and this is encouraging them as well to not hold back, to not kind of keep a lot of that hidden, but to start to take steps at this point in time to make it very clear that the feelings that they have for you are getting stronger every day. It's getting deeper, it's getting more meaningful, and this person is really inspired to co-create with you into this next chapter of experience with one another. We have your touch is electric. So this person, it feels like your touch is very healing for them. There's definitely like a spiritual bond between the two of you, which is not just experienced in terms of like higher perceptions, but it's something that even translates into like your physical bodies, your physical vessels. This could be the kind of thing like if you've made physical contact with them, like the first time you shook their hand, there could have been like a jolt of electricity, or the first time that they looked into your eyes, they just lit up. Something that was a very noticeable shift from whatever they had kind of like going on, distractions, or like a way in which they were perceiving the world, or had like settled into themselves at that particular instant in time, or just at that like time in their life. It feels like this is somebody that was activated by you. Again, the sense of like, I feel that I've been waiting for you. I've been going through the motions of my life, trying to call in like that right love experience, and here you are, and you're available, and I'm available. You know, we're both open to this, we're exploring this, we're experiencing this. And it feels like something that, like, even the physical chemistry between the two of you helps to just kind of enhance this essence that, like, life has been breathed into this situation in a very profound way. You've breathed life into this person. It feels like this is somebody that gets very kind of emotional, like overwhelmed emotionally, when they sit in kind of the midst of the present moment, and also when they kind of allow themselves to take a deep breath towards that horizon of kind of what will become between the two of you. This person definitely feels that this connection is like divinely protected, divinely orchestrated, watched over. This is an experience where it's kind of like, this is right, this is not accidental, this is something that I want to invest kind of the fullness of myself within, in order to kind of understand those frequencies, listen to those frequencies, adjust my kind of approach in this situation so that we can have the best possible outcome, because this is rare. This is a rare connection. It's something very unique. This person felt very bonded to you, like their soul bonded to you immediately, when they first met you, when they first saw you, like very early on in this connection. There was something within them that kind of just opened up to make space for you, like you were coming home to this person. So this is somebody, it feels like this is definitely considered that, like, you've shared past lives with one another. It feels like it might not have even been a sense of like deja vu or like recognition right away, but a sense of kind of like you keep bringing them deeper and deeper into this like awareness of themselves and an awareness of you as they're getting to know you. And it's like, there you are. There's the other half of myself. There's the other aspect of me, and it's not just in the here and now. It's something that it feels like there are suggestions for them that this is like not the first time you've had an encounter with one another. And so this is somebody, it feels like, that they don't care if it was like a long and beautiful love story in the past, or, something very short lived. There's a sense that they are feeling like, we have encountered one another in this moment here and now, and I want to make the most of this opportunity. I don't want to wait, and maybe time is generous and we collide again with one another in the future and we have another go around. I want to experience this right now. You are the person that I've been searching for. You're the person that I've been waiting for. This is the moment in time right now. And so this is somebody that definitely wants to seize that moment. They want to, utilize this powerful charge between the two of you, to continue to find ways to very, proactively and beautifully, have experiences with you. We also have, please don't give up on me. So if this person has been kind of in a period of stillness, almost like reflection, this could be a very like thoughtful person, a very meditative person, a very methodical person, where it's kind of like at a certain point in time they needed to kind of just take everything in. They needed to just sort of study what was happening inside of themselves, look at this experience with you, both from like a logical angle, an emotional angle, a spiritual angle. This is somebody, it feels like, that has come to the understanding that like all basis of knowledge and experience that I've had of love and romance in the past, it doesn't hold a candle to this situation. This is something where it's kind of like they're needing to sort of operate in the energy of just trust, a beginner's mind, kind of the two of you sort of figuring this out as you go, and it's bringing up this kind of instinct of like, yeah, there are parts of me which just align so beautifully with you. It feels so natural to love you. It feels so natural to allow myself to be loved by you, that this can't possibly be the first time that the two of us at a soul level have experienced one another. So it feels like this is somebody at this point in time that is kind of, they're sitting in a very like reverent energy as far as that spiritual bond, that spiritual connection. There's a lot of gratitude within this person, not just that they've connected with you in the here and now because they like you, they love you, they're excited to kind of see what happens next in this, but there's some part of them, like a deeper, more ancient part that is almost like breathing a sigh of relief, like mission accomplished. I've found you. Mission accomplished. I've allowed myself to be found by you. That it's like you found one another, and so there's something where it's not lost upon this person that this is no kind of accident that you are having this experience with one another at this point in time. And yes, the occurrences in the here and now and in this timeline are very significant, but there's also something where there's like past versions of them that are like watching this happen in real time and are feeling very much like at peace or at rest in some sort of way, because it's brought some sort of promise full circle. It's like they made a promise to you, maybe in multiple lifetimes, like, we will be together again, I will find you again, I will always love you. And now that version of that experience is happening once again. And so it's something that it feels like this is the most treasured experience of love that they've ever had. Even if it's still kind of early in your connection, there's a sense of like, this moment, this feeling right here, it was worth whatever you had to each go through, across different lifetimes or in this lifetime, in order to come to this place in the here and now, where you're able to kind of recognize each other and have that ability to build something with one another. We also have, I fear rejection. So it feels like this person traditionally or for a while has had a hard time kind of like getting comfortable in relationships, kind of like sleeping with one eye open, always ready for things to, go south or to fall apart. This is something that it feels like has kind of caused them to be very, very guarded when getting to know new people or in entering into connections. But with you, that just evaporates. This may be something that was very easy to talk to you, very easy to open up to you very quickly. And that might have been something that kind of like caused them to sort of stop for a minute and like, wow, I don't usually share these things about myself so quickly. I don't usually open up in this way to people. I don't usually let this side of myself be seen. And so that may account for kind of this energy of like a bit of stillness as well. In addition to these spiritual aspects of this connection, this is somebody that is kind of like, you are bringing out a side of me that, is like a great side of me. This is something that, yeah, I would want to share these aspects of me with a person. That is what you should do in romance, be open with one another, feel that kind of level of comfort where it's okay to put anything out on the table in a non-judgmental sort of way. And so there's a sense of like, they're almost very astonished that you've brought this out of them, or you've gotten them to let their walls down or their guard down, almost in like an expert manner, but they see you're just being yourself. And it aligned with something in them that just very naturally was like, I just trust you. This just feels right. It feels like we're picking up where we left off from, in a way, in terms of like conversation. So again, that like past life kind of energy here, where it's just so easy to talk to you. It's so easy for them to express themselves. It's so easy for them to like hear you and experience you like expressing yourself without kind of like tensing up, without getting very fearful or triggered. And so there's a sense that they really like that back and forth between the two of you. But it's definitely something that is kind of like, this doesn't usually happen at this point in time. So they're kind of having to stop and like, okay, if we keep going like this, I really hope and pray that you continue to like me, you continue to like who I really am, because I haven't had this kind of unique experience with anyone before, and it would just be the saddest thing ever if you decided that like you don't like me, and then I have to just go back in my shell. I have to like go back to these shallow connections where maybe I don't open up like this ever to anyone, or it takes like a really, really long time. And this is also adding into this element of kind of like, if I feel so comfortable with this person at this point in time, what happens after it's been years? What happens after we, get into a place of like a long-term connection and we're comfortable with one another? Like, how great will that be? It's like this uncharted territory. It's that aspect of a mystery that is really like drawing this person closer into you. We also have so many songs remind me of you. So they really like your taste in music. You may have a similar taste in music, or you've like introduced one another to different kinds of music. You know, sharing songs back and forth. That feels like that's part of like their love language, is music. It's all the things that they can't say and can't express. And even if they were good at putting it to words, the fact that there's, you know, kind of like music involved with it, it's almost like a soundtrack of the experience, like being in a movie, like in a romantic movie, you know, with you. And so there's a sense that they really like so far that this is like a romantic comedy, that is something that it feels like is kind of what they were wanting, what they were waiting for. It's something very sweet, but then there's also this kind of element of adventure, of passion too, you know, of kind of like, okay, these past life lovers, like, find one another again, and you know, kind of moving through this inner energy or experience of, you know, kind of putting to rest that vow of like, I will find you again, but being very much in the moment and here and now, and like, we are these versions of ourselves, so let's make the most of this experience after this kind of incredible journey to reach this place with one another. All of that being something that it feels like the nature of what they're feeling are like these very profound thoughts. Some of these things are even too deep to put to words, and so it's like, okay, music kind of captures that, captures those emotions, in a way that it feels like fits in very nicely with some aspect of kind of like the type of love or the type of connection that they've always wanted to experience, something that would be like made for a movie, that you'd find in a book, something that is very like next level, and they've never experienced that with anyone else before. But with you and in this situation, it's like, yeah, this is that kind of an experience. So it feels like this person's going to continue to kind of like use music, or have that be kind of a channel of exchange between the two of you, where it's kind of like, these are the things that I'm feeling. It feels like at this point in time, this person's feeling like very romantic. So they may be listening to a lot of love songs, sending you a lot of love songs, or, you know, listening to love songs and thinking of you, and kind of just feeling very fulfilled by the nature and experience of like, I finally have somebody, that kind of aligns, that creates that feeling within me that I had always been kind of like hoping for when I listen to, you know, like my favorite songs, when I'm hearing other people talk about their experiences of love, you know, in this kind of very poetic or very artistic way, and I've not experienced that with other people before, and now you've come along, and all of a sudden that all makes sense, or I have a point of reference. It has more specific meaning for me. It takes on something very personal. And so it feels like this person may be, you know, getting ready to like send you more music, or they want to go out dancing with you. They want to slow dance with you. You know, they want that closeness. They want this experience with you where it's like you're moving in tandem with one another. You know, and the love itself becomes the music. We also have, you see beneath my masks to the real me. Yeah, so this person feels that they can be themselves with you, and that you are doing that as well with them, which it feels like is so refreshing. This is somebody that has really wanted something real. They've wanted somebody authentic, somebody that was, you know, just kind of like being themselves, and it feels like that has been very hard for this person to find, or you know, the ways in which they've kind of like looked for love up to this point in time, they've not encountered anybody that was just, you know, not trying to really impress anyone. You may be unlike anyone that they have ever met before as well, where it's like you're a very unique person, you're very free spirited, you march to the beat of your own drum. And so that level of kind of like self-awareness and self-acceptance, you know, shining outward through a person, it encourages others to be that way themselves. It's something that sparks or inspires that. And so this person is kind of like, you read my mind. This is exactly what I was wanting. This is exactly what I was needing in a person, in a romantic partner. And here you are. You've come here. You speak to my soul. You know, you move me emotionally in ways ways that nobody has before. You help me to let my guard down very naturally. You are yourself, and this encourages me to be myself as well. And so it feels like this person has more reasons to want to build with you than to kind of like question if this connection is right. So this is somebody that feels like that's very proactive about what the future holds between the two of you. This is somebody that is very excited to see what happens next. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.